Good morning, everybody. Welcome to third part of reconstruction of partnership. In previous classes, we went through understanding about the terms on reconstitution, that is identifying how to pass journal entries for revaluation of assets and liabilities and distributing the reserves amongst the partners. Now today, we will be looking upon the sums related to revaluation of assets and liabilities. Let us go through question number 10 first. Just an overview about the question. Question number 10. Rajesh, Pushpa and Pratibha are partners of Srinathji Traders, a partnership firm. Their profit loss sharing ratio was 2:3:1 and the balance sheet of the firm was as on 31st March 17 given under where capitals were Rajesh, Pushpa and Pratibha 2 lakh, 1 lakh, 2 lakh respectively. So total amount of capital comes to 5 lakh. Non-current liabilities were 10% bank loan which amounted to rupees 80,000. Current liabilities included creditors worth 1,70,000, bills payables worth rupees 40,000, workmen's profit sharing fund. Just to recall, workmen's profit sharing fund is not a reserve, it's a liability. Workmen's compensation fund is a reserve which is to be distributed. So this is not to be distributed, it's a liability worth rupees 29,000 and outstanding expenses were 10,000. Same way on asset side. Non-current assets includes land worth rupees 1 lakh 80, building worth 3 lakh, machinery worth rupees 1 lakh 20, investments worth rupees 40,000. Current assets include debtors worth 50,000, bills receivables 10,000, closing stock 35,000, bank balance 60,000, cash balance 30,000 and outstanding incomes of rupees 4,000 and total is given. Now coming towards next half of the question, balance sheet as on 31st March 17 was provided and previously they used to share profits in ratio of 2:3:1. Now as on the above date, that is the date of balance sheet, partners decide to change their profit and loss sharing ratio to 1:1:1, means now they are making change in their profit sharing ratio from 2:3:1 to 1:1:1. On this date they decided to revalue the assets and liabilities for which information is as under. Value of land is to be increased up to rupees 2,50,000, whereas building value is to be increased by 50,000. Value of machinery is to be decreased up to rupees 80,000. Value of investment reduced by 30%. Provision for doubtful debt at 20% and discount reserve at 5% is to be made on debtors. Stock of 15,000 were to be reduced by 20%. Amount of 20,000 not to be paid to creditors. So creditor will reduce. 3,000 outstanding expense and 2,000 outstanding income are not recorded in books. Now from this question we are required to pass journal entries and also prepare revaluation account. So this complete question was related to revaluation of assets and liabilities. Now one by one we will be looking into adjustment, posting of entries, writing of entries and posting of same into revaluation account. Let us go for first point. Value of land and building is to be increased up to rupees 2,50,000, whereas the previous value of land and building was rupees 1,80,000. From 1,80,000 now it is to be valued at 2,50,000. It means the value of land is to be increased by 70,000. So the entry for same would be as under, when we are increasing value of asset will be debited. In order to increase asset account has to be debited. So entry will be land account debit to revaluation account. And asset is to be increased by rupees 70,000. Narration, you can keep it in simple words, being land revalued. It is implied it is increasing on the basis of journal entry. Now posting of same into ledger. Journal entry was land account debit to revaluation account. So in revaluation account it will be recorded on credit side as by land account by rupees 70,000. Then second half of same transaction, it stated building is to be increased by 50,000, means the amount of building is to be increased by 50,000. Amount is directly provided. How much it is to be increased? Again, building is our asset. In order to increase the value of asset has to be debited. So entry would be building account debit to revaluation account. And the amount of building is increasing by rupees 50,000, that is provided in adjustment. Again narration for same, we can keep it simple, being building revalued. And now posting the same into ledger, building to revaluation. So in revaluation account, it will be recorded as buy building account rupees 50,000. Then coming towards second transaction or adjustment. Second adjustment was value of machinery is to be decreased up to rupees 80,000, whereas old value of machinery was 1,20,000. It is not to be decreased by 80,000, it is decreased up to 80,000, means from 120 it is to be made at 80,000. That means it has to be reduced by 40,000. Now in this case it is exactly opposite. We are required to decrease the value of machine. If you want to decrease the value of asset, asset will be credited. So machinery account will be credited. So in this case, adjustment again to be made through revaluation account. So entry will be revaluation account debit to machinery account, and it will decrease by rupees 40,000. Narration again you can write as being machinery decreased, yeah, being machinery revalued. Then again posting the same into ledger. Entry is revaluation to machine. So in revaluation account we will be writing to machine account, and amount would be rupees 40,000. Then next adjustment, third one, value of investment is to be reduced 30%. Previous value of investment as per balance sheet was 40,000 and it is to be reduced 30%, means 30% of 40,000 will be equal to 12,000. In short, we are required to reduce the value of investment by rupees 12,000. Investment, again it's our asset. In order to decrease asset, asset has to be credited. So entry would be again same way, revaluation account debit to investments account, and they were to be decreased 30%, means 12,000. And again narration for same, being investments revalued, posting of same into ledger. Entry was revaluation account debit to investment. So in revaluation account we will be writing on debit side as to investments account, and amount was rupees 12,000. Then fourth adjustment was creating bad debts reserve at 20% and discount reserve at 5% on debtors. When we create reserve on debtors, value of debtors will reduce, and the same has to be adjusted through revaluation account. So it is a kind of loss or expense for the firm. So entry would be revaluation account debit to provision for doubtful debts. I am using abbreviation to bad debts reserve and to discount reserve on debtors. Now rate was provided. Bad debts reserve was to be created at 20%, whereas discount reserve was at the rate of 5%. So for that we need to refer to value of debtors in balance sheet, which was 50,000. 20% of 50,000 will be equal to 10,000. Then after deducting 10,000 from 50,000, balance comes to 40,000. On 40,000, 5% provision, that will be equal to 2,000. So total amount to be transferred to revaluation as our expense would be equal to 12,000, being provision created for bad debts and discount. And again posting of same into revaluation account. Entry is revaluation to bad debts reserve and to discount reserve. So on debit side of revaluation, to bad debts reserve, which we calculated at rupees 10,000, and to discount reserve, which we calculated at rupees 2,000. Then next adjustment, fifth point, stock of value of 15,000 is to be reduced by 20%, means out of the total stock there was a stock worth 15,000 which requires to be reduced by 20%. So 20% of 15,000 will be equal to 3,000. In short, we are required to reduce our stock by 3,000. Stock again is our asset. Reduction in asset has to be credited. So again entry would be revaluation account debit to stock account, and the amount of stock was to be reduced by rupees 3,000. 20% of 15,000. Narration again same way, being stock revalued, and then posting of same into ledger, revaluation to stock. So on debit side of revaluation account we need to write to stock account, and value of stock reduced by rupees 3,000. Then coming towards sixth adjustment, amount of 20,000 is not to be paid to creditor. As we are not required to pay money to creditors, the balance of creditors will reduce, creditors are our liability. When liabilities are reducing, it is a kind of profit for us, and profits are to be credited. So entry would be creditors account debit. As liability reduces, liabilities have credit balance. In order to decrease the liability, we need to debit it. So entry will be creditors account debit to revaluation account, and we were required to reduce our creditors by rupees 20,000, and narration accordingly being creditors revalued, and again posting of same into ledger. It was creditors to revaluation. So in revaluation on credit side, by creditors account, an amount to be reduced of creditors rupees 20,000. Then coming towards last adjustment, which states 3,000 for outstanding expense and 2,000 for outstanding income are not recorded. So let us solve it in parts. 3,000 for outstanding expense. Outstanding expenses were unrecorded. So if we record outstanding expense, our liability will increase. In order to increase liability, liability has to be credited. So outstanding expenses account would be credited, and the same is to be adjusted through revaluation account. So revaluation account would be debited by rupees 3,000, which was provided in adjustment, and narration being outstanding expenses which were previously not recorded, now recorded. Same way, outstanding incomes were unrecorded. So if we record outstanding income, outstanding incomes are our asset. Assets will increase. In order to increase assets, assets are to be debited. So entry will be outstanding income account debit to revaluation account, and value of same was rupees 2,000. And again posting these two entries into revaluation account. First is revaluation to outstanding expense. So on debit side of revaluation account, we will be writing to outstanding expense account rupees 3,000. Same way, second one was outstanding income to revaluation. So in revaluation on credit side, by outstanding income account, which was rupees 2,000, and all the adjustments are completed. So now we need to carry out balancing. In this case, total of credit side is exceeding debit side. So first we need to note down the total of credit side, which comes to rupees 1,42,000. Same value to be recorded on debit side as rupees 1,42,000, and the total of debit side 40, 12, 10, 2, 3, 3 comes to 70,000. So 1,42,000 minus 70,000, difference amount comes to 72,000. Now if credit is exceeding debit, resulting difference will be termed as profit, and that profit is to be distributed among partners. So it will be transferred to partners capital account. So entry for same would be revaluation account debit to partners capital account. Entry, journal entry would be revaluation account debit to partners capital, but in this case we need to specifically write names of our partners, and the names of partners were Rajesh capital account, Pushpa's capital account, and Pratibha's capital account. Amount of profit as per revaluation account was 72,000, and this 72,000 is to be distributed in old ratio, and old ratio was 2:3:1. So if we distribute it, resulting answer comes to 72,000 divided by 6, that is 12,000 into 2, 24,000, 36,000 and 12,000, and narration for same would be being profit distributed among partners. So that's all for today. Today we went through question number 10. Tomorrow we will be again discussing with next questions. Thank you. Have a good day.